Welcome back. This is video number 2 in our sequence of learning a piece. And if you're just jumping onto this, please just go back and watch the first one, or you might not know what it is that we're doing here. So let's get rolling on it, shall we? In the first video, we made little sections, and now what we're going to do is we're going to look and make sure that we know all the notes in the musical markings. And we're just going to do this for the whole piece right now, but you might, when you're actually practicing a new piece, then you may actually just go section by section, especially if there's a whole lot of ink on the page and a lot of directions for you. So let's look at what all of the notes and the musical markings are. That's our number 2 step. What are all the notes and the musical markings? Do I know all the notes and musical markings? So we're just going to go through. So first off, we have this thing right here, and this is this 4/4 time. And do we know what that means? And what that means is that there are 4 notes in each measure, 4 beats in each measure. And then that's what the top number means. The bottom notes means is that quarter notes are what we are counting. How many is the top number? 4. What are we counting? Quarter notes, that's the bottom number. So 4/4. What else do we have here? We have the tempo, moderato. So what does this moderato mean? It means a medium tempo. It's about 100 beats a minute, somewhere in there. It's a moderate tempo. And so that's what that is the speed. Whenever you have this word up here, it's typically a speed. You might also have a metronome marking, a click like a quarter note equals and then a number, something like that. You get some vital information about how fast to play it or what feel, things like that in this spot right here. What is next on here? We have the right hand fingerings. That's this PIMA up here. That's all this stuff right here. And so just as a review, on your right hand, your thumb is P, index is I, middle is M, ring finger is A, annular, and then C or N or S or all kind of stuff for the pinky, all kind of different things. But we mainly just use PIMA. We only use PIMA in this piece, for sure. So that's what that is. So that's what the right hand will be doing through this piece. Then we have the left hand finger numbers, and these are the little bitty numbers right here by that's that little bitty number right there and right there. The little bitty numbers by the notes, and these are the left hand finger numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. The thumb does not get a number in the left hand. So you want to get those right there. Sometimes you'll see a number in a side of a circle like this, like a 3 with a circle around it, or a 4 or 5. That's a string number. If it has a circle around it, it means that's the string number. So the high E string is the 1 and the low E string is the 6. So those are string numbers. You don't really have those in this so much. So what's next on here? What other things do we have? This little squiggly line right here. There's another one right there, right there. That's a quarter note rest. So just make sure that you know what that is. It just means that basically you don't play on that note. Now in this song, if you look at it, like let's just look at this measure right here. I know this page is getting a little bit crowded. But if you look at it, there's a note up top with the stem pointing up. That's this right here, right? This note with the stem pointing up. And then there's this rest underneath it. That basically means that we have 2 different lines of music going on. We have a bass line with the stems pointing down and a treble line, melody line, with the stems pointing up. And so both of those have to add up to 4 on each measure. And so if you look at, let's just look at this measure right here now. If you look at this, then if you split it right down the middle like this right here, then the top has to equal 4. This note gets 3 beats. This note gets 1 beat, adds up to 4. And then at the bottom we have 2 quarter notes, 2 quarter note rest. That equals 4. So the top has to equal 4. The bottom has to equal 4. So that's why you'll have the rest and the note at the same time. It doesn't mean that there's actually silence. There's just silence in that particular part. So one other thing I just want to point out really quick. On the pages where I broke the sections apart, then you'll see these 2 rests on top of each other right here. And that just means that both parts have a rest at the same time. So you actually will hear that. It doesn't mean anything special or crazy. There just happen to be 2 right there to keep the time because they both have to add up to 4. So no biggie there. So moving on, what else do we have here? Oh, the quarter note. Quarter note is the black note with the stem that gets 1 beat. What else do we have here? I'm going to scoot this up We also have a dotted half note. That's the half note, the white note with the stem with a little dot next to it gets 3 beats. The whole note at the end gets 4 beats, no stem, and a half note gets 2 beats. And so that's all of our notes and musical markings for this entire piece. And so all of that stuff, we know all that stuff now. So we've done that step. So with that, then we can move on to our next step, which is clapping the rhythm and looking at the rhythm. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video all about rhythm. See you there.